Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to the Creative Muse Hour. Listen to Carl in our intro.
Hi. Keep talking.
Well, you guess I got the word, huh? We are here today with Colonel Darrell from MLE Studios. He's doing live recording for us. And our special guest is Craig Donovan. Craig's from the East Coast.
Yeah.
Hi.
Flown all the way in. Wow.
Hi.
Now, we're going to be doing this outside, so we're going to be talking a little bit louder, we hope, so you can hear us. And if you're on Facebook and you're watching, let us know. I'll be sure to say hi back. Craig Donovan is here because he's going to be attending ASCAP Expo, which will be May 7th through the 9th. Tonight, we have a special event for Craig here at Carl's Cozy Corner Cafe. Carl Percival has got the backyard looking just phenomenal. What do you think about it, Craig?
It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and because of my East Asian influence, I'm surrounded by several iconic images from East Asian religions. Beautiful foliage, beautiful bird life. It's
Beautiful
fantastic.
Buddhas, beautiful lions, everything in here. And Colonel Darrell, you want to just say hi so we people know you're there?
Hello, everybody.
All right, he's doing good. He's filming us. And we're here today to talk about Craig's very first album, correct?
That's correct.
This is Craig Donovan's Sky Shine. Beautiful packaging. Look at that interior. Nice picture of Craig right there. And we also have lyrics, correct?
Yes, there's an 8-page lyrics booklet with fully illustrated with the lyrics in English and Japanese.
And you're selling this 5-song EP with beautiful artwork and everything for only $8.
$8. Physical CDs, $8.
And they can get it online, or where do
can-
they purchase it?
You can get it online. It's been distributed through CD Baby and distributed through Bandcamp. It's also up on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, and 20 other streaming sites and popular services.
Now, Craig, tell us a little bit about your background, how you got into music.
Okay, it's funny. My mom and dad were not musicians, but I came from a household that had an eclectic interest in music. And my mom and dad had a killer record collection when I was a kid. Everything spanning from 1950s to 1960s rock and roll to Italian and French opera. Massenet, Puccini, Verdi.
Verdi.
So I listened to a wide range of styles of music when I was very young, and I'm sure all of this kind of imprinted on me the importance of melody and everything else. So I kind of, would spend my days after school exploring different styles of music, exploring jazz, Thelonious Monk, Dizzy Gillespie, classic jazz, and that's pretty much how I started. And then
At what age? What age?
I would say probably when I started playing guitar, about 9 years of age, and I started playing classical guitar and then went over into pop and rock eventually as I got into my teens.
I think this bears out what I always believe, that people who are brought up with a broad interest in music, and especially classical, you tend to look at music in a different light. You look more for the melody and the content, and also it gives you a broader outlook on life itself. Because if you can appreciate music and even art, then you're going to appreciate what's around you. You're going to look at it in a different way.
Right, and the other
You know?
contributory factor I think in my own life and having a musical calling was growing up in New York City. A New York City boy, born on Staten Island. And my mom and dad always gave me really great opportunities. And every Thanksgiving and every Christmas, my mom and dad made me, and I happily wanted to go, I would see Arlo Guthrie and Pete Seeger at Carnegie Hall for the Thanksgiving concerts. This is as a young boy, and they became supporters of the New York Choral Society. So every Christmas, Peter Yarrow, Paul Stuckey, and Mary Travers.
Okay, that's it for Craig Donovan talk right now because I'm jealous. I'm jealous that he got to see all those artists that Carl and I love to play the music for.
So melody became really important to me. There's nothing like Paul Stuckey, Peter Yarrow, and Mary Travers with that booming voice. Peter Yarrow with the sweet voice, and Paul Stuckey with his wonderful voice and
Divine harmony.
Fantastic. But the thing that really made a great impression on me was Pete Seeger. Now, 9 years of age, he'd come on stage with Arlo Guthrie, And within 2 to 3 minutes, everybody in Carnegie Hall would be singing in unison. So years later, I thought about this once becoming accustomed to politics and religion and realizing that there was a real diverse world out there. And I was saying to myself years later, there was probably a Republican, a Democrat, an atheist, a religious believer, a communist, and a staunch
Buddhist.
capitalist
Yep.
sitting next to each other. And yet everybody, when Pete Seeger came on stage, could sing in unison. So I think that made a great impression on me too, that music is a way to communicate and bring people together.
I think you're absolutely right, and we're going to get you ready to do your first song. And on this album, you've got 5 tracks.
That is correct.
Why don't you tell us, before we get you started, we want you to do Thick and Thin.
Okay,
Just
sure.
do that first.
Sure.
Tell us a little bit about your process.
How I write songs. It happens in a variety of ways. Sometimes it is something that affects me from outside or something from the inside, and I'll be drawn to go to the instrument to try to figure out what I am feeling and what's going on with the musical language. Another way that songs can start are I may come across a melody that I like and work it that way. And there are times too that I hear melodies in my head, and I assure you I'm not crazy, but sometimes I hear melodies in my head. And Lotus Bridge is an example of that, but we can talk about that later. But
I think most artists do have music floating in their head. I get lyrics in my head. What do you get in your head, Daryl?
Visions of dollar signs.
Oh, all right. So Daryl is being very honest, and he reminds me that the Creative Muse Hour is something that does need to be promoted. And if people would like to join us, we're on the Facebook page at the Creative Muse Hour. We also have a special PayPal that will go directly to Daryl's pocketbook. All right, and it's on PayPal. You can email us any donation, whether it's $1, whatever you can afford to help us, at the Creative Muse Hour at gmail.com. And Daryl, you weren't forced to say that, were you?
No, I wasn't.
No,
I
he's
think
joking.
He just shot Pete Seeger down.
But Pete Seeger might have a song about that, right?
I think, well, he has little boxes. I'm sure he does. But just to get back to your question, when I was at my first ASCAP, I saw Melissa Etheridge play at the general membership meeting, and she talked about songwriting as a mysterious process, and there's a divine spark. And I always say, I don't write songs, I don't plan to write songs, I have to write them. So I happily suffer with this disease called songwriting.
All right, well, let's get started and let's hear your first song.
Sure.
Craig, I just picked him up today. He flew in from the East Coast, had a very nice evening down in Hollywood, and then we traveled a little bit together, and he went with me to pick up all the stuff for the party tonight. We'll be here at Carl's Cozy Corner Cafe, and Craig will be performing along with some other artists. And if you'd like to find out more, you can call me at 602-300-9626. And if you're a musician, let me know. If you just want to come and be in the audience, tell me that too. We start at 5 o'clock, so they got time to think about it.
Sure.
Now, tell us how this song came to be.
Okay, this is Thick and Thin. It's a song that I wrote for my best friend, and pretty much the scenes that are envisioned in the lyrics are true stories. My best friend from grammar school passed away about 10 years ago, and I was thinking of him one day, and it kind of just poured out of me. It was one of those songs that I wrote pretty quickly. It's a song called Thick and Thin.
Here's Craig Donovan with Thick and Thin from his new album, Skyshine.
By your side on St. Mark's Place, got waylaid and all went south. You saved me from floating in the river tide with simple words from your mouth. Like a thoroughbred who came up lame, still believed I could win the race. To person know they share a single soul, looking in each other's face. Sometimes we don't know where this journey goes. Can't go it alone, but we threw each other a lifeline together through the thick and thin. I thank my stars that we're friends today. My Out our plans without a care, crash landing in defeat. I stood by you with a bloody nose when your folks threw you on the street. A restless wind blowing down an alleyway, we climb out from the debris. And in my dark places, you're always there with me. Sometimes we don't know where Jenny goes. Can't go it alone, but we threw each other a lifeline together through the thick and thin. I thank my stars that we're friends today. We get blinded in the headlight, rain is falling down. We give it our hardest, and now we've run aground. And I promise I'll never let you go. No, no, no. By your side on same old space, God waited and all that sounds. You save me from floating in the river tide with simple words from your mouth. Like a thoroughbred who came up lame, still believed I could win the race. To person know they share a single soul, looking in each other's face. Sometimes we don't know where Jenny goes. Can't go it alone, but we threw each other a lifeline together through the thick and thin. I thank my stars that we're friends today. I thank my stars that we're friends today. I thank my stars that we're friends today. Thank you.
Oh, that's made me cry. Made me cry thinking of friends that have gone by.
Thanks.
Yeah. And so that was your childhood friend.
Childhood friend from elementary school, high school, and college, and died in early life. Kind of a sad death. But, so.
And you, in one of the lyrics, you said that you helped him when his parents threw him out on the street.
Right, right. So he, kind of a Eugene O'Neill type of family situation.
No. What'd you think of that, Carl?
Well, his influence obviously is the same as I grew up with. Pete Seeger, Peggy Seeger, Bert Lloyd, all those people, Ewan McCall, and
The ones you like to play
I
the songs
love
from.
this
Yeah.
sort of soft folk music. It resonates with me completely.
The Creative Muse Hour actually started because Carl was supporting local artists, and some of them are going to be here tonight for the Creative Muse Hour's happy birthday party here at Carl's Cozy Corner Cafe. And Carl is teaching me how to rethink my guitar playing. And just like with you right there, those are simple chords, but it comes out to be so full. You were telling Dust Off Your Guitar kids that.
Yeah, it's to me, it's the content doesn't have to be involved, but it does. I always think melody has got to be in almost anything. If you go and watch Cats musical, there's only one song you will come out whistling out of that whole thing.
Which one?
The Cats.
Jellicoe Cats.
There's only one melody that actually comes out of that.
Right.
And I think it's important, if you're going to get anywhere with this at all, you've got to appeal to the public who like to hear something that make them happy, and melody always makes people happy.
Well, if I can throw this in real quick, Carl and I Daryl had to work that day, so you were not able to go to the Songnet.
Correct.
Jimmy Yamagishi invited the Creative Muse Hour to go out and talk to the group, and 22 wonderful young people showed up that are very talented, like you, Craig. And Carl got to talk a little bit about Dust Off Your Guitar, and then when we heard the music, we were really blown away.
Oh,
Some really good songs.
Quality was awesome there.
And we've got a couple coming, Nick Goodman, and Janie Thorne are coming from the Songnet tonight. Jimmy Yamagishi will be coming. We have about 10 different talents coming tonight to share with you, Craig, the beautiful stage that we have here at Carl's house that Carl has done all himself. So I also want to give a thank you to Carl Percival,
Thank you so much.
and that's all we're going to say about that, I guess.
Let's get him back to. I want to know, where do you actually go? The biggest problem I have here is getting people to actually get somewhere and sing folk music, what I consider to be folk music. So where do you play in New York? Where do you go?
Well,
do you have a collection of friends?
I started in college, and I had the great opportunity to perform when I was a senior at NYU at Folk City. They sucked me in. I think I must have been underage, or I guess it was 18 still.
where's
so I
Folk
was
City?
probably West 3rd Street.
West
Folk
3rd
City
Street.
was the mecca in New York City where all the great folk artists
And what
started.
year was this?
This is, I would say, probably, I'm going to give my age away, 89.
Okay, so you were 5 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I'm not going to give my age then.
So,
Oh my
but
God.
it was in the 80s, late 80s, and Folk City and the Bitter End and CBGB's when they were still
When
there.
they were
The West
happening,
Village is
when they were
not
happening.
anymore really the center of music in New York. But I had the opportunity to play at Folk City on a Sunday Songwriter Showcase. Somebody got me in there. So as a young songwriter, I didn't have these songs yet, but I had songs that I was working with band, and I was out with acoustic guitar. So I had that great opportunity to be on that stage where Baez was, Dylan had played as a young guy, and everything else, and it was really
And did you
grateful
feel
for
their
that.
spirits in there and all that?
You could feel it. It was dingy, dark. You could smell beer from 25 years. Burl Ives would play there.
Oh,
those great
That's a long
those great
time
artists.
ago.
So I do have a folk influence. Yeah.
And you sang your own songs there?
Sang my
Or
own
did
songs,
you?
and I think I did some covers too. I think I did, if I can remember
Yeah.
correctly, I think I did a Who song. I'm trying to think which one it is.
God.
It was a very early Pete Townsend song.
Now, we
Because-
were talking about The Who because he loved The Who, but when Pete Townsend became unplugged, that really got him back to the guitar, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, he did his own solo shows out of his own studio and with other musicians. I mean, there's the Secret Policeman's Ball, where he would on acoustic guitar strip down all the Who songs. He'd be playing "Won't Get Fooled Again" on the acoustic guitar with a wonderful other guitar player who was not a rock player at all, John
Back in-
Williams,
yep,
classical
yep,
guitar
yep,
player,
yep.
and the two of them were playing "Won't Get Fooled Again." So I kind of came out of that school of writing, and then got influenced later by people like Elvis Costello, once again melody and harmony, a genius with those things. Paul Weller from the Jam, the Style Council, trying to think who else, James Taylor,
Who doesn't
Yeah.
appreciate James Taylor?
Yeah.
It's an awesome.
When people talk of the 80s, I go, because I was singing at the folk clubs in London well before then, and they were all dingy little places in the cellars. The cellars of London became folk clubs. That's where I saw Peggy Seeger, Bert
Wow.
Lloyd. They're all down there in those cellars. And you go down underneath in the centre in the Soho, and there you see all these people, and it was fun, I love the folk scene.
Now, Carl, you were in skiffle bands.
I started
You
in a
started.
skiffle band.
I
Yeah,
figured with the style.
age 13,
Yep.
and that would have been 1956.
When you were 5 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So must have been a big Lonnie Donegan fan.
Yes, he did come into it. That's where I think he sang. Did he sing Freight Train? I might have picked it up from him.
I don't know, but
Donegan,
that's
I
one of
think.
the songs that tonight we're hoping that Carl and I might get up, and we're gonna have a little jam after Sandra McCott
You
and a few
know
others
who
play.
did start me off, and
Uh-uh.
it wasn't necessarily folk, although folk was my love. We sang every week in bars, we'd meet and sing. Was Bill Haley and his Comets. We started with the skiffle group.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, what's your next song you want to do for us?
I don't know.
You want to do
whichever
the
one-
Lotus or
Whichever one you would like.
Living Waters is wonderful.
I'll do Living
I mean,
Waters.
every track on this is beautiful.
I could do a stripped down version of Living Waters.
They're well put together.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, here's Craig Donovan with, this is the opening track, correct?
Yeah.
The opening track, Living Waters. And if you want to, please like our page, The Creative Muse Hour. And if you're watching on Facebook, let us know.
Yeah, if you want a bottle of water, we've got plenty in the fridge.
We've got plenty of water.
It's so... Oh,
Okay,
It's about 100 degrees out here.
but it's a different type of heat than
Yeah.
Washington D.C. That's
It's
for sure.
it's not quite a dry heat. It's more like a good vibration heat.
yeah, even the hummingbirds are happy.
Yep. Okay. Held our breath, you touched my hand as we swam the relay. Warm breeze blew the wayside grass on the sunny August day. With our supple bodies, we pieced the river's fell, dreaming of our future days in the call of a cicada's refrain. Blow over me, livid waters, make me strong in the rain. Blow over me, you livid waters, make me strong in the rain. Gotta be strong in the rain. Silver streak in the open sky as we race to the other side. And the flash of 1,000 suns, killing stars roar in deadly shine. When I came to the surface, I saw a cloud rising in the air. Everything I loved was gone, couldn't find your shadow anywhere. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Blow over me, you living waters, make me strong in the rain. Blow over me, you living waters, make me strong in the rain. You gotta be strong in the rain. Yeah. And often we wonder the better days on a distant shore, not going under. We all bear wounds that have no cure, but I know the flowers will rebloom, so beautiful. Even if they never shine, brandy my skin. Flow over me, you living waters, make me strong in the rain. Flow over me, you living waters, make me strong in the rain. Na 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 na, hey yeah. Na 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 na, hey yeah. Na 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 na, hey yeah. Whoa, yeah, whoa. Strong in the rain, strong in the rain, in the falling rain.
Ooh, sweet, Living
you.
Waters. Now, Carl, I'm going to diverse right here from the music because if you'll notice, this artwork is pretty phenomenal. And you went through a process. Why don't you tell us a little bit about his one sheet's pretty awesome. And any artist that works with a person like me or Carl or Daryl, a producer, and Steve Levitt will be here later, we like artists that know how to put it together. And Craig, I really have to hand it to you that this album is beautiful.
Thank you.
It's got great artwork. And how did that happen?
Well, I commissioned a British artist, Mr. Robert Clear from London, UK.
Well, of course one would.
And he is a digital artist who also works in the media of gouache and pencil. And I had been kind of enamored with digital art for a while. And I wanted to have a striking cover for the album. And being that I'm Japan rock influenced, a lot of the Japanese bands very rarely ever put their individual
image. They
picture
don't put
on
their
it.
images on
It's
them.
more a mysterious picture on the front, and then there's the image of the band on the inside. So I figured for the first one I was going to be truly authentic and do it the way I wanted to do it. And I liked Robert's work, engaged him, and from about October 2017 through January 2018, we worked on the images. And the cover of the album, as you can see, is a depiction of the story behind the song Living Waters.
Ah,
Yeah.
we'll
And
make sure we get a close-up on the website over at Creative Muse Hour, and Daryl will put it up when we do the YouTube as well.
right, and then the inner panels are, so a little bit about the cover, if I may.
Yeah.
And what Living Waters is about. When I was a student in Japan, I got an opportunity to travel to Hiroshima and Nagasaki to see the sites of the 2 atomic bombings. And going there, I learned about the hibakusha, the survivors of the atomic bombs, and their stories. I was very touched by their survivor stories because there were people like you and me going to mass or going out shopping on the day that the bombs occurred. And the cover depicts a survivor story that touched me about a 14-year-old boy named Hajime Iwanaga who survived the Nagasaki atomic blast by swimming in 2 to 3 meters under the waters of the Urakami River. You see Hajime Iwanaga with his best friend in the morning of August 9th, 1945, was taking a dip in the river to cool off on that humid day before they started work at the Mitsubishi torpedo factory. So the cover depicts Hajime swimming in the water. The sky shine is either the sun or the pika, the shine, the flash.
The radiation.
The flash, right. And then what we have on the inside of the CD is we have the artwork in nature, and the cover has the underwater scene. The inside depicts what's happening above. So you have on the, I think it's the left side, the sagi, the Japanese white egret looking
Yep.
at dragonflies,
Yep.
or is the sagi looking at something else like a silver streak in the open sky? The plane that dropped
Yeah.
the bomb. So that's essentially what the artwork reflects, and it also reflects the love of Japanese manga, anime, art, and nature.
Go into your Japanese connection because I'm going to introduce you to a couple of friends after we, have this that
Okay.
might help you with your get more of your music out there. But tell them how you've gotten yourself pretty well promoted through Japan already.
Okay, well, I got influenced in Japan. That's the first question people ask me. How did I get J-Rock influenced? Well, I had the opportunity in the 90s to study in Japan at International Christian University in Mitaka, Tokyo, and got the opportunity to live with a Japanese family and be immersed in the culture. And it's something that really resonated with me, and I can't tell you in so many ways, in positive ways, the experience in Japan changed me as a person for so much better. And so while I was over there, my Japanese friends introduced me to a band called Lark on Ciel, who was just happening at the time, one of the most famous bands in rock and roll history. Unfortunately, not everybody on this continent knows Lark on Ciel. And I heard the Tierra record and the Dune records, and I was smitten hearing Hyde's vocals and Tetsu's bass playing and his particular compositions. And then I discovered more bands after that through my love of manga, Asian Kung Fu Generation, Bump of Chicken. What was the other part of your question?
I was so intrigued by what you were saying, but how your Japanese influence. So how did you get your music? You were telling me in the car that you've got it rolling
Right, I
a little
recently
bit.
got press on a Japanese blog in Tokyo, and it's led to
Some good things.
some good things. So a lot of good things are happening on that front, and I thank you very much for helping me on that front too. So.
Well, I want you to know that Craig is a delight to work with because he calls you on time. He asks me what he can do for me, and you know, a lot of artists forget what that means. And your songs really touch the heart.
Thank you.
You've picked it up late in life. What's that feel like?
Well, I had it early in life, then put it away to do professional school, and then something was gnawing at me, and I came back to it. And
Now you
full
and
circle.
Carl, I think you two could do a good duet tonight.
Well, you know what I was thinking earlier? How, with the job that you have, where's the crossover going to be? Are you going to give up one for the other? Are you looking to get one to replace the other? It's an interesting, because you've got two really good, solid, to me you have, your music's solid and your job is solid.
His life is solid. He's solid
Well,
life.
Your
yeah.
life is pretty...
That's only if I stay healthy. I mean, who knows, life is precarious, but I'm healthy now and I have the energy. But I actually think they both complement each other. I think it's important, and I guess I should disclose, I am a lawyer by day. So
You don't have to, but we didn't, so you did.
Okay, I am a lawyer by day, but I think having a legal background is really important as a songwriter because it helps me to understand licensing and my royalties and all of that, and to protect myself as a songwriter. And it certainly has paid off right now.
And it's
So-
paying off because he's out here for ASCAP Expo, and he knows the language, and I bet you're going to do quite well because you'll be able to really talk their language.
That's right. That's right. So I don't see it as trading one in for the other. I mean, we're all going to be working to the day we die, the way life is now. But they both are, I think, perfect complements to each other.
What I like is how you're bringing your political ideals, and none of us want to see war. None of us want to see bombs. And today's society is, I think, a little too comfortable with the languages of how people are talking. And when you tell a story that some kid didn't have to go through atomic war because he was swimming under the water, it makes you really stop and think, what would happen if something came to LA? You know, what if? What's another good song that you want to play? Because we're getting ready to, we're about at 30 minutes.
Well, why don't I play something that's not on the album?
That sounds great.
Let me just get
Oh,
tuned.
I'm all for that. Let's hear something.
And we're not closing up right now. I'm just saying we're getting ready. We're just making sure.
Just want to tune up because the heat, you know.
Now, are you going to be playing while you're in town?
Yes, I am. I'm going to be playing tonight at Carl's Cozy Corner Cafe. Plus, there'll be a host of other great LA musicians here, and I'm looking forward to not only hearing them, but learning a lot from them too. And I will be Tuesday night at Kulak's, and who knows what'll happen on Monday night, where my guitar will take me.
Great.
So I'm going to play a song, Love Letters in the Sand.
Awesome. Is this your song?
Yeah.
Love Letters in the Sand by Craig Donovan.
Sometimes this breeze catches you smiling. My head keeps spinning around as the hours go by. And how long will the stars remain in the sky? I guess it's just count upon to the sunrise. And always you take my breath away. Someday, talking about the future of our lives, always just smile again for me. Oh, and believe in these are the letters in the sand. Take me to the ocean, let me see my disguise. And I wonder if we've really all been denied the great expectations of our generation lost. You and I are outcasts, baby, not even a hope to hide away. Money becomes our lives sometimes. It's so hard to reach your mind. Always just smile again for me. the letters in the sand. A reconciled battle cry. On Saturday morning, hipsters just sit and sigh. Understand, I know, realize, understand. I'm a baby with a tear in my eye. 'Cause we got to feel, 'cause the power in us lies. And you and me, you and me, you and me, we make a perfect sunrise. Just you and me, you and me, you and me, we make a perfect sunrise. These things will change, yeah, for the better, yeah. These things will change for the better, yeah. Will change. La 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 la. When I'm coming home to you.
Is that going to be on your next album?
I've been asked to record it many times.
I think
but
you should.
It may very well. But thanks for the idea.
Well, let's talk about that. What's your future looking like?
Well, I have already started working on songs for a new record. So I think within 1919, Jesus, next year I'll go back to the studio and record. I'm also thinking about maybe coming out here to record. So
well, you can do both. You can have now. Who helped you with this album? Who helped you produce it and all that?
Okay, well, the album was recorded, 3 of the songs were recorded at Mystery Ton Studios in Monrovia, Maryland, with a young engineer who does a lot of indie bands named Ken Eaton, who's a very talented engineer. And I was looking for a big guitar sound, kind of Lark on CL, Asian Kung Fu Generation sound. And some recording engineers don't know how to deal with distortion and capture it in a good way. And I thought Kenny captured the kind of distortion that I wanted, at least
so
for
you
the first
wanted
record.
What you got is what you wanted.
I'm
okay.
pretty,
so you're happy,
pretty happy with the mix, but hey, I'm always open to constructive criticism, and there are always ways in which we can improve, and that's part of being an artist.
Well, that's why you have a second album.
That's right. That's right, to do things differently and do a different
But
sound.
this one's pretty darn good.
Thank you. So that's what I'm planning to do, and I'm thinking about maybe doing a piece of vinyl, and then in 2020, I'll probably go back to Japan and play. I've played there in the past, and I'd like to go back and play in Nakatsu City, play in Fukuoka, and venture into
Are these
Osaka.
places you've played
Yes,
in?
I played at a Japanese izakaya last summer in Fukuoka, which is a Japanese grill, which is where the Japanese let their hair down after work, and it's a very wonderful experience. And also in Nakatsu City at a live house, which is a club.
Now, if I could throw this out there, an artist that you might know, Colonel Darrell, Haley Loren. Haley Loren is one of my favorite artists. We've helped her promote her music over the years. She is very popular in Japan, and I might get the two of you connected, because maybe when you go over there, she might do something over there and the two of you could connect.
That would be
She's
great.
jazz, beautiful vocals.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what we're here to do, Carl, right, is to bring people together and collaborate. And do you feel inspired? Do you think you two could do a song? Want to do something? Want to do a little No.
I'll get him up tonight.
Tonight, if people want to come and see Craig Donovan tonight with Carl and a bunch of other wonderful people, Sandra McCat, Doug Reichert, Andy B, Batwinis, I hope I said that right. Colonel Darrell's going to be spotting us on drums.
Wow.
Jimmy Yamagishi is bringing a wonderful young drummer as well. I don't want to pronounce his name because I'll pronounce it wrong. He's from Japan.
Okay.
We'll have Diana Green on keyboards. Who else we have coming, Carl? Can you remember?
Oh God, there were so many I lost count. I mean,
Oh, it's going to be wonderful. But you can go to the Creative Muse Hour page on Facebook or call me. Best way to reach Tony is 602-300-9626. And if you leave me a voice message, tell me who you are. If you text me, please put a name on there so I know. And Colonel Daryl, what's coming up for MLE Studios?
Well, gonna take some video tonight at the Carl's Cozy Corner, and then incorporate it in the Muse Hour.
And then you want to meet some of these artists because you're starting to do that at your studios, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I want to recommend Colonel Daryl, if you're out there and you need a video and you're on a budget, he always works within my budget, so I highly recommend him. You can reach him online at majorlabelmusic.com. And Daryl is out of LA. He travels, but he's always around. He's great to do sound. He can do your house concerts if you want. He can do something out at the winery.
I'm doing the winery June 9th, Agua Dulce Winery in Santa Clarita. I'm doing sound for a band.
I'll see you there.
Yeah.
All right. Carl, what's coming up with us? What are we doing?
well, I don't know what bookings you've got. We're planning another event for June.
Well, June, the event's going to be the Sandra McCott birthday party here at Carl's Cozy Corner Cafe.
So we'll bring in a host of our buddies. For
Our
that
buddies,
one.
and if you want to participate, please, we are looking to help you get out there. Helping us help you. We do have a little bit of a fee that we ask you to kick in. Wasn't too bad, was it?
No, not at all.
I
And
think the thing what we're trying to do here is, if you come here, we want you to exploit the situation.
Yeah.
Videotape yourselves, use it. There's no, what do they call it?
there's no barriers. It's open. It's an
Yeah.
open party that we do ask, because it is a private house, that you have to call me, and because we do live in a private area, we are limited on how many people can come to entertain. But if you let us know in advance, we work it out. We're gonna be doing these gatherings monthly if we can.
Yeah.
It's all up to the artist, right?
We've got till 10 p.m. every night.
Yeah, we can go till 10 p.m. and sometimes I know Carl's goes longer. So
Inside there's a jam afterwards, which is always fun.
Steve Bannon, that's who. Steve Bannon. How could I forget the one we like? Steve Bannon,
Yeah.
Richard Marquetta, and a few other of our good friends. I apologize, I've got a little quiet on you here.
Don't worry
Debbie
about
Hennessy, and the Alphabet Astronauts. They're all going to be here tonight.
Wow,
So it's for you.
I'm excited.
All right, do you have one more song before we wrap up?
I can play another one, yeah. Sure.
What, off of this?
Yeah, off that.
Okay.
What? Oh, do you want to hear a cover? I can do a cover.
No,
too.
no covers.
Okay, that's fine.
We don't want to have ASCAP on us. By the way, I am an ASCAP member, he's an ASCAP member, but we love BMI artists too. So if you are a musician, or if you're just starting out, Carl and I love to coach and love to help you. So give
Yeah.
us a call. What's this one?
I can do Lotus Bridge.
Let's do it. I love this song, Lotus Bridge. It's a little longer, but this will wind us up.
Right.
And then we'll say our few little goodbyes, and Carl will wind us out.
It was done as a duet originally, so. Stream of sunlight, dragonflies dancing on the water. Lotus flower blooming in the passing of a moment. Its song never falters. City street lights, it's from clouds colliding. Sidewalk denying the glow of the high light never seemed so bright. So please let me exhale. Almost hit the third rail. Note bending. Unto wanna stay with you on this horizontal plane, knowing you're beside me and we're continuous becoming, change like fireflies in the rain. How could I not notice all my always coming to break through to you? See these street lights, mist from clouds colliding, sidewalk and I and the glow of the highlight I've never seen so bright. I wanna stay with you on this horizontal plane, knowing you're beside me and we're continuous becoming, change like fireflies in the rain. How could I not notice all my always becoming new breakthrough? I don't know where I'm going. Can you see me for who I am? Just hit a rock on treading water, but you lend me your hand. I wander through arch gateways, the bridge of 1,000 dreams. The music's inside you, don't let the shadows win. Wanna stay with you on this horizontal plane, knowing you're beside me and we're continuous becoming, change like fireflies in the rain. How could I not notice all my always becoming new breakthrough, breakthrough, breakthrough to you, na 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 na, breakthrough, breakthrough, breakthrough to you. Thank you.
Craig Donovan, wow. Well, Craig, you're going to be here for a couple of days, and what are some of the things that you'd like to maybe ask us about? If you had a question to ask somebody around town, what would you say?
That's a good question. How many years has this show been on?
This show is celebrating their happy birthday 2 years now. Good man, good man. He went with me to get the birthday cake. The party tonight is to celebrate. The Creative Muse Hour is now in its 2nd season. Thanks to Carl
I
Percival.
think Craig's question would have been, what venues can I play at?
Well, that would have been a good question, but then he
know,
won't get the $5 I
With
paid
the
him to
most
ask that
people in
question.
them.
Speaking of venues, he's going to be looking up Genghis Cohen, and he hit the Tribal Cafe last time. He had Pig and
Right.
Whistle when they were open.
Right.
And he'll be at Kulak's for Jimmy's 2 for Night.
Right.
And are there some other venues you'd recommend for him?
Well, no, it's such a
I took
short
him to
time,
Corky's.
unfortunately, but Kulak's is a good one anyway.
I took him to the Cork Lounge today. We went to see the Cork Lounge just to tell him about Adam Sears. There are some other venues, but most of them are pay to play or open mic. So he's aware of all of that. And if people come out to the East Coast, would you be willing to give them some tips on clubs?
Sure.
So you heard him. If you would like to get in touch with us, you know how to reach us. The Creative Muse Hour. And
Well, this is what we're trying to actually get
What is
going.
Craig's website?
oh, sorry, Craig's website is craigdonovansongs.com.
That's correct.
And Colonel Darrell is pointing at me and he's saying the most wonderfully smart thing, and Tony's going blank. You're allowed to ask questions too.
I just did.
I know.
Thank you. Thanks.
Tell him again.
Okay, my website is www.craigdonovansongs.com. You can hit me up on Facebook if you'd like to be Facebook friends, and email craig.donovan08@gmail.com. And I'd love to be friends with you, and thank you so much for lending your ears and everyone out there who's supported me so far.
Well, we hope to see you more often, and I want to get you out to Arizona. And you got touring? You're touring a little bit?
Yeah, I just started in Washington, D.C. This is L.A. It's an initial mini tour. I go up to New York in July to play, working on some more gigs up there, and I'm going abroad too, so working on some things there too
All right.
in the summer.
Well, we're going to wrap this up. We want to thank everybody, especially Colonel Darrell, for being with us. You just cracked me up because you know what you're doing, and I don't always hear you, but thank you. Carl, you're going to play our little song out for us?
While I'm getting that,
Yeah?
I was just going to say that what the good thing about all this is that we're creating a network.
Yeah.
And every time that we get someone like Craig come along, it broadens the scope of the people that we reach, and introduces people like producers and so forth.
Yeah.
That's what we got to get this. And
Well-
over the year that we've been doing it, we've managed to expand the
lot.
network quite considerably.
And I want to mention that, speaking of producers, we have Larambe coming out tonight, Steve Levitt, and let's just say that the more we work together, we had a funeral for our friend Ed Pozick, and I did want to mention that real quick. A few of us went to that. Sandra McCott, she'll be here tonight. She took me. And Ed was a stand-up bass player, and he was all about it. And the theme of his farewell was, "If music be love, play on." So that's our theme for tonight. If music be love, we're going to play on. So thanks for watching the Creative Muse Hour, and Carl's going to wind us out with our little theme song.
Thank you.
Thank you, Craig Donovan. We'll see you again next time.
Thank you for having me.
Adios. Peace to all.